Welcome, guys, to Rebel Rock, episode 9. I'm your host, Dan. That is my co-host, Nick Grandchamp.
What up?
We talk rock and roll every week. We hang out. We talk to you guys, the people, and we talk to each other because, well, that's what we have here right now is each other.
Yes, we are the people.
Hang out, talk to you guys.
We are the people of all this here, and you guys are here to ask us questions. So I want to hear all of them in the comments. Comment away.
But before we get to any sort of rock and roll chat, Nick, I just told you about something I did. After 12 years of living at my current place in New Hampshire, it gets hot. Today was like 90 degrees. I've lived 12 years without an air conditioner in my place.
12 years. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I haven't turned on the heat in 12 years either. So I had a real streak going there.
You are the Mick Foley of the River City Rebels. You know the value of a dime, and he's the same way. He was fighting the Rock, making millions, and he was staying in Red Roof Inns. I'm not saying I'm wrong. You just know the value.
You got to save money, and that's what I had done. This is the first year I felt comfortable enough to buy an air conditioner because I was like, all right, that's whatever that investment is. I just didn't want to pay the electric bill. And I was like, oh, it's going to be an extra $15 a month.
You were like, yeah, hey, I have a very, very odd relationship with money because I grew up poor. My wife would be asking me like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I'm just, I don't want to buy anything because I'm always thinking I'm broke, and I'm not because I'm 34 and I actually have a job. But in my mind,
there was a time in your life a couple years ago, Grand Champ, where you did spend some money. You got in trouble from the wife.
Got a couple 2-3 arcades, but listen, got my problems, but didn't go to the casino, so I'm all good.
You're good now. You saved up some money, so you can spend a little bit here and there when you go to the thrift.
Well, which I got to tell you what I got you. Should we wait? Should I tell people? Oh yeah,
you might as well tell the people. What did you find me?
All right, my wedding anniversary was on Sunday, which you married us, me and my wife.
Yeah, I appreciated that wedding.
6 years ago. So we went and celebrated up in Burlington, and we went thrifting. And I always check the VHSs because I love the VHS. So I'm flipping through, okay, and I'm looking at them all. And I'm going through, and there's some good ones. Then I find what I already know you had. Your favorite movie, one of your favorite movies.
It's a top 5 movie. It's a top 5 movie for me.
What is that top 5 movie? Tell everyone.
Man with a Plan. It's a movie that was filmed in this general area that I grew up in back in the mid to late 90s.
Yes. So I saw 2 copies there, actually. So I picked one up. And it's fine. I have a copy myself on VHS, so I didn't need it. But I'm going through that. Pick up the first copy, it's fine. I just wanted to see the price instead of $1. Then I pull up the second one. And lo and behold, I saw it right away. I saw a signature, and I'm like, all right. I knew the movie was local. And I knew that it was kind of like, kind of a like indie special before like indies films got big, So I knew right away. I was like, this is Fred. It has to be. And sure enough, I looked and it said right there, and I was like, it's him. Now he's no longer with us. So that's huge. And I'm like, all right, I already knew. It's like one of your favorite movies. Probably top 3. Even more than top 5. Probably top 3.
I love it. The fact, and it's weird, Nick, because I had seen that movie, an autographed copy on Facebook Marketplace probably 3 months ago, and I hit the person up as soon as I saw it posted. I'm like, there's not a chance anyone else cares about this movie enough, and it was like $12. $12. I'm like, oh, $12, no problem. Hit them up, and they're like, sorry, it's already sold. I'm like, it's been posted for an hour. Is someone else out there like that obsessed with Man with a Plan other than me? And I guess there might have been.
Dude, I mean, the thing is either that just went to the thrift, that copy, he said, fuck it. I don't even want to worry about the $12,
there was probably hundreds of those signs.
Yeah, I'm guessing he must have did some seminars and stuff, but it can't be too much. The guy was old. I mean, he probably there is some out there, but not like, famous actors. But so there it was. And I picked it up $1. I knew right away. I was like, damn, here you go, buddy. You're getting it.
And it absolutely made my week because it was another hell week at work, another 55 hours. And that was like the thing that just was like, man, if there's like anything in this world, you put things out and it just seems to all work out.
The universe, man. It takes some time sometimes, but it does work out. And I knew right away. So I grabbed that. That's the thing about both of us have a love for thrifting. We try to go as much as we can. I try to go almost daily or every other day. Sometimes I can't go every day. I try to go 3 times a week, really. And dude, I mean, there's just always something to look at. Even if there's nothing that you want, there's always something to look at. And I've learned just to keep your mind open about what, even though it looks like just a normal VHS, look at it, see where it's been. There has been some CDs and stuff I found that are signed, and music too, vinyl. Maybe not something that I like, but it's kind of cool to be like, all right, someone liked this band enough to get it signed.
No, it's incredible. So yeah, the like thrift, and I guess that ties in with this week's episode because I have some music hauls. Like I've been snagging up vinyl the last few weeks, and I've just been storing it up so we could, do an episode where it's like, all right, let's showcase some vinyl, talk a little bit about it, some of the history on some of these artists that I'd never heard of, and I kind of bought the albums based on a whim because you look at the cover and you're like, that cover looks awesome. It's got to be cool.
Absolutely, yeah. Do you have them now? Should you guys go through?
Yeah, we're gonna wait a couple minutes before we dive into that because I got a couple clips from it, and we're gonna force you to listen to something and get your opinion on it a little bit later. But let's go to the comments real quick. I see our old friend Jeff hanging out with us, and I appreciate you, Jeff.
Happy Tuesday, buddy. Happy Tuesday, Jeff. Hope you had a good weekend. That's the thing. The biggest thing is too at the thrift. If you kind of understand, it's not always that what you want. If you can see something that a friend would like, that's what I get love at. I've bought stuff that I'm like, I don't like this, but I mean, the movie wasn't really the case, but just keeping your eyes open for anything. Like I've gotten art supplies for people who were like, yo, that's $20. Thank you. So always keep your eyes out for other people too, because it's cheap. A couple bucks ain't bad.
It ain't bad. And Anthony is with us right now.
Anthony, how are you, buddy?
I guess he's going to say hi to me, but not you, Nick. That's how it works.
Oh, you know what, Anthony? I forgive you, buddy.
I work with Anthony, so maybe that's why.
But Anthony, you've been burning the midnight oil too, Anthony? Jeez.
Anthony's insane. He works 2 jobs. 2 jobs.
Welcome to America at this point. This is crazy.
He's got like 15 kids though, so I think that's why. He said hi to you now.
Anthony, thank you. Thank you. Well, I tell you one thing, man. I don't know about you, but when I went to West Lab a couple weeks ago, everyone's looking for help. All the businesses there and all the businesses here in Rutland begging for help. So, it's a rough spot. My job's crazy understaffed. I'm talking 6 people run the place, understaffed. Like everyone, 6 people total.
Yeah.
And it's just getting more stressful. Oh, the guitar tuner.
See, this is another one of those thrifting things. I every time I go out thrifting and I find a guitar tuner, I pick it up.
Yeah, you have to.
He hit me up. He's like, hey, you got a guitar tuner? I'm like, yeah, man. Give me a few bucks. It's yours.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's, there's always something out there. And if you're thinking about someone, grab it. Oh, yes. We were just talking about that before we went on.
Yeah, any Rebel shows in the works? Right now, we're in a tough position. We got a couple problems. Our bass player just was bitten. She's a dog trainer. Her arm was all chewed up.
Bad.
So she's out of commission for a little bit. And the other problem is I'm working all like 55 to 60 hours a week. So we're not able to set up any rehearsal times that work for everyone because we got everyone's like all over the place. We got people in
Spread it out.
Massachusetts, Patty Bowe's down in New Jersey. So it's hard to line these things up. But Nick is saying we have some show offers coming in, but unfortunately we can't take them. But
we will have something. We got to figure it out. I mean, the biggest thing is I think a lot of bands are in this situation after COVID. Okay, so we just got through COVID. We're still getting through COVID. And we're trying to figure out what's the summer look because let's be honest, every band in the world is trying to play right now, literally. So the issue is with that, where do you try to squeeze in? And also, yeah, our bass player's whole arm is all fucked up. It's not good to play without a bass player, so
we're gonna have to wait it out a little bit, and it will happen. We just got to be patient. That's all. I'm convinced. All good things come to those who wait. They say so. We're waiting, and good things will come.
And we got the record too, so we were talking about that too. It's all done. I mean, we've went through the songs. We just have to get in there and go to studio and do it.
Yeah, we're ready. Once we can get a couple rehearsals in and shake off the rust, we're good to go. All right, so why don't we get to some pickups?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do some pickups, Nick, and we can talk over these because I just shot the audio or the video without audio, so we can talk a little bit as these go. We just got to unmute the microphone, Nick. That's all you got to do if you want to talk. So first one was Angel City, an Australian band from 1980, which is pretty awesome. Elton John record. Yeah, I see Elton John, whatever. Dead Boys reissue album. That just came out. I got that in the mail. Wonderful album, classic. Loris. Another one of these artists, real underground, flamboyant, glammy, trashy rock and roll from early 70s, I do believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Loris Records. I just got those in the mail. Small little record label out of New York City. Garland Jeffries, who wrote Wild in the Streets, which was covered by
Circle Jerks.
That's correct. So that's
which everyone thought that was their song, which I remember thinking the same thing until I figured it out.
Yeah, I just told you about the Garland Jeffries. He was like the singer-songwriter, wonderful songs. Everyone from Springsteen loved him. It just down the line, really, really good. To find that album, I found it at a Bull Moose music store for it was in a discount bin for $2 or something.
Yeah, finding stuff as a Partridge Family. I sent you that said see if you had that, but you already had it. Those are great scores.
Yeah, no, and you missed it. I got that Dead Boys reissue from Jackpot Records out of Oregon. They just released. I didn't realize that the album had never really been re-released on vinyl. Yeah.
Oh shit, Dead Boys are great. I did have some pickups too. Should I show them? I have them right here.
Yeah,
I have them right here.
Yeah. Why not?
So today, when I was sending you some stuff, I found this, which is kind of cool because A, it's in the box, which I love stuff that's in a box. B, I'm a fan. And C, $5. Yeah, all day. Drew Carey from the Drew Carey Show. It's got a $4.99 on his head, but originally in box. Drew Carey from the Drew Carey Show. Pretty cool.
I mean, that's an odd thing to find.
Yeah, and it's from 98. And it's just kind of fun and weird. And Drew Carey's kind of fun if you look at his history. I mean, I got to see him when he came to Rutland, actually. He did not like a stand-up thing, but kind of a storytelling kind of thing. Had some comedy, too. and he was talking about The Price is Right and how he took over and how he like he was like being honest. He's like, yeah, some of the contestants I really hate, and it was just kind of funny him talking about his job he does, but like how he has to like kind of like act like it's yay, and he's just kind of like going off on him.
So you got a Drew Carey doll right there.
Yes, I do. I'll do another thing, and it's look at and so what happened is that there's other stuff, and I had missed a couple because my buddy works there, super 90s. And he's like, yeah, it must have been a collector or something who passed away or something. But so I got that. But this is really cool. And this is actually, this next thing is kind of worth a couple bucks. I think I sent this to you. But me and you being huge wrestling fans, I have a sealed in the box prop box. So essentially, if you were into your action figs, you could buy this and make a backstage. And it's all in here. It's all in here. So I checked, which is crazy. This goes for like $140 online. Like,
I believe it because the reality is how many people kept the box? Yeah. How many people, and that probably wasn't a huge seller either because
yeah, it's just backstage. Yeah.
Just backstage.
Came from Toys R Us, but came from Toys R Us on the top, and I paid $4.99. So yeah, I immediately I'm not a big reseller, but if I see something like this, it's like, all right, I paid $5, I'm gonna make $150. So yeah, that pays for my phone and my car insurance. I hate to say it, I'm not a big reseller, but I mean.
Or it could pay for some records next time you find some records you want. It can fund just about anything.
I found a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh cards too, and I bought them because they're so cheap. They're in this little book. Get $2. Got a couple of gems in there too.
Oh, nice. Derek's with us.
Derek, it's good to see you, buddy. I can't see you, but it's good to see you, if you know what I mean.
Derek said he's been to Jackpot Records.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Pretty awesome.
That is awesome. All right, so I didn't realize it was a legit record store. I just thought it was a record label, but that makes sense. It seems like a lot more of the record stores also kind of do the record label. Like those Loris records I got, I think that same deal. They have a record store plus the record label, which you put 2 in 1 makes sense.
The dude that put out the Get a Grip 7 inches and the 12 inches owns a record store too. And he would just put it out. So it's like, label and a record store. What up, weird.
Rax? Rax is hanging
out. Yo, Rax. Out there fucking BMX biking in 90-degree weather.
Derek is saying that Drew Carey doll is pretty awesome.
I saw it. I was like, all right, man, $5. If it was 10, maybe still would have gotten it.
I wouldn't have bought it for 10.
$10. $5 was my thing.
Jeff's saying he misses KB Toys in West Lebanon.
Wait a minute.
What?
You gotta tell him your story about that. You gonna tell him?
Jeff, I'm pretty sure knows that I work there. Jeff's an old friend. So
so you used to work at that very one.
Yeah, I did.
You probably stocked these.
I probably did stock that if it was like 1998.
Yeah, that's what it is in 98, 99. So you might have stocked them on the shelf. That's a cool job.
Oh, it was the best. It was the best job. You couldn't have a better job working overnight.
N64 in the back.
Playing N64 in the back. We'd bring in the drum set and amps, and we'd fucking jam at 1 a.m.
Oh man. No one's going to know you're in the fucking big shopping plaza.
No, nobody gave a shit. And then on Monday nights, our manager would record Raw, and then he'd go home and get it, and bring it into the store, and we'd stop for 2 hours and watch Raw while working.
That's fucking phenomenal.
Yes, that's incredible.
That's awesome.
It was like a movie. It was like Empire Records, but like for KB Toys. Like the music, the jokes, it just chaos in that place.
That's what it's about. That is what it's about. dude. I mean, yeah. So I tried. The thing is that it sucks. I missed out on a couple more of these cool, unique dolls because like my buddy that works there is like, yeah, man, you're a day late. But that's the thing about thrifting. You have to go so much because once shit gets out there, it's done, man. It can be gone. It sucks that I missed out on them. But.
Yeah, the resellers in my area, it's just like out of control now. Dudes are like riding their bikes there with backpacks and waiting there all day for carts to come out. It ain't looking good for me. The fortunate thing is that most people don't like the shit I like as far as music goes. So I can still find lots of music because these idiot resellers don't have any art or culture in their life.
That's the thing too. Yeah. You gotta dig down deep to know. But the thing is, idiots with time on their hands and an iPhone, sometimes they find that shit, and it sucks, you know.
But CDs, the good thing is CDs are pretty much worthless to most people, so they're not even going to bother like scanning CDs.
No,
or records even for that matter, because they don't know what the fuck they're looking at.
They don't.
Lincoln's here. He's a little bit late. Lincoln, we're just talking about some finds we had this week for records, and Nick had a Drew Carey doll, and just good randomness, and just talking that kind of stuff. If you guys found anything cool lately, let us know in the comments, please. So why don't we go to the second part of the pickups for my records that I found in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nick, make sure to unmute yourself.
Okay.
When the video plays, otherwise we can't hear you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Whoa. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Go-Go's. That's a classic album. That is picture disc Led Zeppelin. Come on now.
That's pretty sick. It's pretty sick.
The Osmonds, I love me some Bubblegum Pop, and that's with them trying to be rock and roll with Crazy Horses, that album, which isn't bad actually. Elton John, he was a glam rocker, so I always pick up these classic Elton John records. Herman Brood was he was a Dutch superstar in like rock and roll. He was kind of like the Lou Reed of that territory, and he killed himself a few years back. Jumped off a hotel and killed himself in the city.
Holy fuck! Oh shit! There they are.
Bay City Rollers. Buddy Rich, greatest drummer of all time, some say. Sha-na-na.
Sha-da-da.
Nazareth. No Mean City.
That's a sick cover. Oh, brings us to our next topic.
It does. And what we're gonna do is, so I found that Nazareth record, and it has one of my favorite songs I've heard in the last couple of years that really just stuck out to me. The first time I heard it, I stopped and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, just blew my mind how good it was and how I hadn't heard it to this point. So that record, No Mean City, is 1979 release. So it's a little bit later in Nazareth's career. But we're going to play it real quick, and hopefully we don't get like a copyright strike or anything. I'm only going to play 28 seconds, and then we're going to ask you, Nick, to give your thoughts about it. So here we go.
Listen, right off the bat, especially hearing it with the headphones on before I was listening, before we went on, the bass playing, great. And that
bass line groove is just going the whole time. It's like,
it's trucking. And I will say, I guarantee that the guy from Mr. Axl Rose from fucking Guns N' Roses. It stole a lot of what that
I
dude was
think
doing.
Axl's like biggest vocal inspiration was Nazareth.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it almost gets silly in this song where you're like, all right, these guys came out 25 years before. Come on. I mean, I'm not hating. I mean, but like,
no, but that's the beauty of rock and roll history is tracing it back where it started, and
right.
finding the roots of it. So if you're a big Guns N' Roses fan, you can look back and find something in Nazareth that
Absolutely.
makes sense to your ears, and that's how you kind of like evolve and you find more out that you like and enjoy, so we can kind of expand this musical world that we live in. But
Yeah.
what else? Anything else that
Another thing too is that, that I guess a lot of 70s bands were doing it, is that there's almost like a jangly guitar in the background, and like sometimes acoustic you can hear in a lot of 70s rock, and then like just a really big, just meaty guitar over it. And everything was about the riffs, which is great. And I mean, we didn't play it there, but later in the song, there's double harmonizing on top of rhythm playing in solos. I think there was 2 in that song, actually. Well, more maybe of more of like a lead and then into a solo. And yeah, I mean, it's riff rock, and I can see why a lot of bands like Guns N' Roses totally took that whole riff rock to the next level.
Yeah, and the drum groove, it's like 4 on the floor the whole time, just banging away the whole time, doesn't let up. And that with that bass groove, yeah, that jangly guitar, you hear one in the background, kind of like giving the meat of it, and then all of a sudden that big Les Paul sounding, on the choruses when it like finally hits.
Yeah,
and that chorus is so catchy.
Yeah, no, and again, another one of those bands where I guess immediately I was like, all right, the singer is great. I like it. But I'm like, who does he sound like? And I connected the dots, because I'm not a huge Axl Rose fan. I do love Guns N' Roses, but I'm not a huge fan of necessarily him or his vocal style. But I can see why it blends great with that music. I can see, and I'm like, all right, it's definitely there. But shit, this was it. It had to be a band. In fact, it's almost at the point, vocal style, that's almost insulting because it's so close. Maybe not insulting, but it's like the dude from that dude is then his name.
Yeah, but I'm okay with that. That's like that's a nod to say, hey, I love your work, and I'm gonna kind of carry that on in some ways.
That is true too.
There's only a small few amount of people that could get away with singing like that without distorting your throat. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, because it is distorting. Yeah.
Lincoln's saying Nazareth is pretty cool. I want to get more into them. You should. Start with obviously the greatest hits. That's easy. Love Hurts. Everyone knows that song.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of start, diving into some of the albums a little deeper. Derek's saying they were so good a few years ago when I saw them.
Oh, wow.
They still play. I think the lead singer now is out of the group, health problems or something. But up until a few years ago, he was actually still like kind of out there with them. Like I said, they still carried on with a different singer. That's supposed to be all right. But and they still release new albums too. That's the crazy part.
That's crazy. That is.
Derek is saying GNR, not Nazareth, but that as well.
Well, still, I mean, they're back together. People want to see them. They're selling out stadiums. I mean, Axl Rose is still a dick, but I mean, Glenn Danzig is a dick, and I like his music too. So
I just have a problem. I have a big problem with these bands that kind of get back together and you just play the hits, and you're not working towards creating more to that catalog. And I can't do it. And that's what I told everyone when we did we're putting River City Rebels back together. We're not living on the past.
No,
When the new album's done, we're going to play just as much stuff from the new album as we will be old stuff, because I don't want to live off legacy. I want to live off what's going on right now.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing is creating art. Being musicians, we want to create it's great to give the nods to the past and do that, but it's about doing something new too. So that's always important.
John, we just listened to some Nazareth. I had Nick Grandchamp listen to Whatever You Need, Babe. And Nick liked it, and he put it together that Axl Rose was a big fan, obviously the vocal styling. So that's what we were just kind of discussing a little bit and going over some music pickups too, like the Elton John records I found. Jeff saying he loves Elton. Everyone loves Elton. It's great songs, great performer. Can't go wrong there.
Can't go wrong. Just like my cat in the background. See ya? That's Milo.
There's
Can't
Milo.
go wrong. Little Milo.
We asked you guys what you have been picking up lately, and Derek's saying he picked up some sealed stone protector board game off Macari. Came in the mail from 1993.
Wow! Holy crap!
I like Macari's great. I've been finding a ton of like movie and TV box sets through Macari. You can get them real cheap if you constantly look.
So what is Macari?
It's kind of like eBay. It would have been like eBay in the early days because Macari it's not as popular, and it's I don't know. It's the same kind of idea. It's just a little bit more easy to navigate because less people are using it.
Okay. Figure it out.
Yeah, you should. John's saying he picked up a new Civic. All right, you got a new whip. John likes to pick up cars like I buy underwear.
Well, you know what? Everyone either that I know either leases a new car, like every year they get something different because they like that idea of maybe trying something different, or some people don't want them to devalue, so they trade them in after a year or two so they don't devalue too much. Yeah. But you know what? I'll tell you a little car story. I want to get, my car is almost paid off, very, very, very close. And I wanted to get my first car ever, which was a 1992 Volvo. I want to find it without rust down south. I want to get my new first car. Do you remember your first car?
The first car I ever had that was mine, where I was kind of in charge of it, and it wasn't like a girlfriend's, was probably the 15-passenger Dodge Ram van that we got for the band. So it was the band's vehicle, but I was like the person in charge of it. So that was the first car I ever really had in my name.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, bought it brand new, or it had 17,000 miles on it. I think it cost us $16,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were paying payments for forever on that thing, but we paid it off, and then it died like 6 months later.
Oh shit! Well, you got it done. What else we got here?
Lincoln's saying he hasn't picked up anything lately. He needs to get back on it. Yeah, Lincoln, you kind of do. But then he also says, my only pickup is my new car. Psych!
All right. At that point.
That's cool.
Sick. That is sick.
Cool. Cars are cool, man. If you can get a car, get a car. Derek is saying he got an email about the Cruel World Festival is back on in May. Oh, all right. So it's that show with Devo, Morrissey, Blondie, Violent Femmes, Psychedelic Furs, who are one of my all-time favorites. And I saw them a couple years ago, and they were so good. It made me want to cry. That's awesome. That's great news to hear.
English beat. Yeah, no, I know. Some of these shows are getting rebooked. Some of them aren't. We'll have to see.
Oh, yeah. Derek's saying he loves the Macari. You get killer stuff on there, and it's you can't just search on eBay. Yeah, no, it's true. Macari's something. Oh, I think John's saying 72 Dodge Charger might have been his first whip.
The Charger.
I want a muscle car bad, but I don't know how to fix cars at all. So if I got a classic muscle car, it would the first time it died, I'd be fucked because I don't know how to fix it. It cost me a fortune.
I know it. Well, you could get a Miata somewhere in the middle.
I don't want a Miata. I want a muscle car, Grandchamp. I want some American Steel. You know what I'm saying?
American Steel. I get it. Hey, you never know. Find something in a barn.
Well,
Yeah.
in '87, Volvo was his first car, by the sounds of it.
That sounds sick. Oh, the turbo.
The first car I ever kind of like drove all the time was my girlfriend or fiance at the time. We got a Saab.
Oh,
It
the
was
Saab.
awesome. A white Saab. Like
Saabs are sick.
it must have been like a late '80s Saab. The thing was great. Besides trying to shift into fifth gear, which I almost never do.
The Saabs.
Oh,
sick.
Lincoln got
That's
a '93 Honda Del Sol. All right, so that's all pretty awesome stuff. At this point in the show, we're 35 minutes in. If there's any questions, I know we're having good banter in the comments down below, talking cars, talking Macari, talking rock and roll. Things are happening again. Festivals are happening again.
Let us know. Let us know. And, let us know. Do you guys think there'll be more bands after COVID or about the same that it was before? Let's just see what people think. More bands? Did people learn how to play an instrument during the last year and a half? And will that equal more bands? Dan, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think most people that had this time off during the COVID stuff, I don't think they did a whole lot, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people kind of took that time for granted and didn't try to, make some shit happen, improve on themselves. I think that's what happened.
You put out a record. Put out a record.
I made a record. I made a record during that time. I stayed so busy. I've never been so productive in my life, really. But I think a lot of people were just like, this is the first time in my life where I get to do fucking nothing. So they gained a bunch of weight and just hung out and relaxed, which was nothing wrong with that. But then it kind of hinders the whole forming bands kind of shit. And then you got, so
that's the thing. I have heard from music stores that they're selling more guitars, but that doesn't mean people are playing them or drums. There's been a lot of people that sell their kids guitar from when they were in the 80s, and people like me and you luck out because I bought this for my kid in 1987 because he wanted to play and he never did. And guess what? Thank you. That freaking Gibson Les Paul is mine now. The rich kids. Johnny's first guitar was a custom. It's like you didn't start from Squire if you had rich kids. You had, you're getting the Gibson Les Paul.
Well, John is saying there'll be more bands, but most will suck. Well, I think the odds are, if the more bands, the more suck you will have. I think that usually goes without saying. But the problem is there's no drummers. There is not. You can't find a drummer. Like
can't even pay for it. It's over. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. That is the biggest problem. And a good drummer at that point, so.
That's the hard part too. Rax the Great said he learned how to ride a BMX.
Yeah, man.
True. I've seen the videos. It's true.
Yep. You got dedication, man. I got to give you, buddy. You got dedication. You're out there in 90-degree heat. And you used to shred in the skateboard too. So I'll give you that, Rax.
John, my buddy John, did 500 videos on YouTube, guitar covers. So he knows a few songs now. He knows a few of them.
Have me baby one more time, every one of them, or no?
Oh boy. Des says, I started a duo with a buddy over Discord, and it's been more successful than anything else I've done.
Dude, Des, you rule. I love it all. It sounds great. I love it.
Isn't it crazy how that stuff works where just something you kind of had to do out of necessity, and you were like, you didn't put much thought into it. You're just like, I guess we'll do it. And you have more success doing that than actual getting guys in a room and rehearsing and practicing and all that shit. It's crazy how shit works.
Yeah, man. And if people have the creativity and drive, it's sometimes more about just being out there and doing it. And, with me and my photography lately, it's like, I'm not even really trying. And people are like, yo, I'm not even barely even trying to rep it. People are like, yo, Nick, you take some good pictures. I'm like, I'm not saying I do, but it's just kind of like, oh, okay, wow.
You just do it, and hope for the best. Things catch on. And it's like you don't know why it just happened, I guess. Jeff is saying he remembers me saying a decade ago about drummers. So true. And Jeff is a drummer. Jeff was supposed to be. He was going to be my drummer, man. I don't know, Jeff. What happened, man? I gave you some drums. I was like, you got to be the guy.
Drop the ball. You dropped the
ball. He had. I think he had. He had kids. So that you have kids, it's hard to play drums while you have kids.
Yep. Absolutely.
Dan.
Oh, wow.
Form a band from resurrected famous musicians who passed away. Who would you pick as your band members and why? Wow, we both can answer this question.
I mean, Joe Strummer on rhythm guitar. Okay, probably singing. Got to have him on rhythm guitar. Lemmy on bass. Up there. I mean, there's so many options too. It all depends what type of music you want to play.
No,
but it would be kind of cool.
It doesn't matter. Music is music. We're not talking.
All right. Well, what do you have? So I picked two. That's what I want.
As a bass player, I'm going probably. Oh God, this is a tough one. It's probably a tie. Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy would be right there.
I mean, but yeah, too.
Rick Danko from the band he's a secret weapon too. So either one of those guys is a bass player. Drummer, I'm probably going Keith Moon just because he's an absolute maniac and what he brought to the table for any drummer is so unique.
I would have to say up there too.
As a frontman vocalist, I'm probably. Oh, it's tough. You have vocal range, or you have like the front man. Like if you're going front man, just like I'm gonna tear things up, you go Iggy Pop. If you're going like technique with vocal stuff and range, I'm probably going David Bowie.
But Iggy Pop hasn't passed away yet, so I mean he looks like it. But if you know who I was thinking? Fucking no, I was gonna say G.G. Allen. That's a joke. I said we don't need him pissing on anyone. It's a joke, guys. But I will say, I would have to say, man, the hardest one would be the singer. Like, who do you want to front a band like that? You'd want an Iggy Pop. But honestly, I don't even know. I mean, even Strummer could be the lead vocalist and not even play guitar.
Yeah, I mean, there's the possibilities. Freddie Mercury would be a great choice. Freddie tears it up. There's a bunch of.
So that's a good question, though.
Yeah, it is a great thought. Maybe we'll do a little some sort
research.
Of like research and think about that and do that for an episode. That'd be fun and get everyone.
That is. Good job, Rax. Good job.
Lincoln says he used to play drums a bit, haven't in a few years. Maybe I should get back on that.
Do it, Lincoln.
Probably should, Lincoln. You probably should get on that as soon as possible, to be honest.
I thought like Rock Band and all that stuff was gonna.
That's what I thought. I thought Rock Band for sure was gonna make a ton of drummers because it really was a way to learn how to play drums and keep rhythm.
Yeah, it was. Still fucking fun to play today. Like even Guitar Hero, like still fun. I know they try to do like that Rocksmith thing where you could plug up real guitars, which was kind of cool. But that
was fun too. I did that as well.
Still a little different, but still fun to play like Guitar Hero stuff. Like that was a really interesting thing that they did. It's fun. G.G. Allen, yeah. Oh man,
Derek's saying he's got multiple G.G. Allen records. Funny thing is, I was just talking to Rob Basso this week about coming on the show. He's the guitar player from the Jabbers, which was Gigi's first band, and wrote all kinds of great songs. So I talked to Rob, and Rob's down to do it, Nick. But the problem is we'd have to do it at his place because he doesn't do this whole deal. So we'd have to actually go in person and kind of film.
I'll have to do it. Bring back Stoke City podcast like I used to do. Go to locations and do that.
Yeah, Jeff is saying Jim Morrison. Or Van Morrison. Either one, you would be all right. But yeah, obviously, if it's dead, it's Van's still alive. So probably Jim.
800.
John saying $800 you can get a set with Zildjian cymbals at Z-Zounds and make payments. Well, Lincoln, let me tell you something. If you want to get back into playing drums and you want to borrow some drums, I will loan you my Partridge Family drum set if you're serious about playing some drums. So you let me know, bud.
Damn, that's right there. I'll tell you one thing. You did a great job on those drum sets. On the shells, it looks great.
Oh, that was one of those COVID things. It took me forever to do that in the Partridge Family theme, where I just used stickers and essentially cut up hand. I mean, it took probably 35 hours. It was insane. By the end of it, I'm like, what have I done? Why did I do this? But it looks so awesome. I love it.
It does look sick. The thing is, too, is so many things you can do in art, people. Okay, from riding your BMX bike is art, from cooking is art, playing music, making your drum set look cooler. So much. Just try to be thinking about what you can do and what you want to do, because a lot of shit in this world, guys. And if you can do something, even I have friends that are coloring figures. They're buying blank figures and they're painting them. It's whatever. It's great. What I'm saying is there's always something out there to do, and the best anti-drug is creativity. Am I wrong?
No, you're definitely not wrong. I think that's the important thing. We keep going back to this. It's like, put it out there, create something, put it out there, do it. That's where I see things. It's weird in life. There's like certain selfish things that people do, I believe, and there's nothing wrong with it, but
right.
You're not giving anything to anyone. Like,
right, you're not giving back.
Say you're going hunting. You're hunting animals, right? What the fuck is that? Like,
right.
What if you're hiking a mountain? Okay, it's like a selfish thing. I get it.
Right.
You're not making art. You're not giving anything to the world.
You're not giving back. And I think sometimes, and again, like, it's like, we know people into their own thing, but when you kind of just do these, I would like to say normie type things, where you're just like, your life is like, and I'm not hating on people who live this life, your life is just, going to the grocery store, coming back, making food, and that's it. But that's fine. I'm saying, but you got to dig deeper, because you might have a hidden talent that you don't know about. Maybe you're good at something you don't know about, but if you're just kind of not pushing yourself, you don't want to die. Playing dead ain't fun either. Don't play dead. Get alive. Get out there and figure out. There's always something. I mean, you go on YouTube, you'll find people into the craziest shit. But you look at them, you're like, all right, fuck it. It's not my cup of tea, but look at them. It's killing it.
And there's strength in numbers. So get involved in that community, where it's like, there's so many communities, and the larger that community, it's like you're gonna be all right. You just, that's how you build things, with other people, not just by yourself.
Yeah,
you can, but it's a lot harder, and it's probably not as fun either.
No, there's a lot of people out there wanting to help, man.
Yeah, Lincoln, let me know. Hit me up if you're serious about playing drums. I'll loan you the drum set. You can come over. You can get them. I'll let you use them. You can learn. I know you'll treat them nice. Let me know. John is saying his Legends band of deceased, people.
Oh, Dio
would be Dio as a front man. I thought about Dio too. I like Dio. Neil Peart as a drummer, Lemmy on bass, and Eddie Van Halen on the guitar. Yeah, that would create a hell of a sound right there.
Yeah. No, I tell you one thing. That's a good question. But I would want a couple of days to figure out what was mine. That was a really good question.
Yeah, no, we'll do some more deeper research on that. I'll be able to, I think I can come up with a pretty interesting lineup that wouldn't be the standard, like, you know, the same old ones you've heard a million times over. Mark, what's up, bud? Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're just shooting the shit here in the chat. So if anyone has anything, we got about 10 more minutes. We're hanging out.
I got a question for everyone. Has anyone in the last week, because they're pouring out like crazy, has anyone seen any shows that they perhaps might want to see? It doesn't have to be this year. It can be at the end of this year or next year. Anyone announce something they want to see? I mean, we talked a little bit about the Festival of Morrissey, Violet Femmes, but is there anything else? I have something that I do want to see. I have a lot of shows, but I don't know if you listen to this record, Dan. I'm not sure if you're a fan, but 10 years ago, actually, yeah, about 10 years. Yeah, it's 10 years ago. They're touring on this record. A band called Fucked Up from Toronto did a record called David Comes to Life. And it's just like a concept record the whole way through. And they're going to tour on it. And I do want to go see that because, I mean, I know a lot of people might not like that band, but that record, it's one of those bands that if you like, all right, you might not like A, B, or C, but you got to listen to this. So David Comes Alive, great record, concept record. And it's like, Fucked Up to me is one of my favorite bands because it's very much like rock and roll, but it's also punk. But it's also, if you listen to some of that stuff on that record, it's experimental. It's just different. It's like ambient.
Yeah, so, no, they're a hell of a band, and definitely, you know, I understand the success they've had, and I can understand it, and that's
right.
I know it's one of your favorite bands, so that's pretty cool that they're.
So yeah, I want to go see that, especially because it would be cool, and I saw them a couple of years ago. They're awesome.
John, no. Covers, you're putting it out to the world, into the air. You're doing something. It's even if you're by yourself, that's you're still putting it out there.
Yeah,
it's not like you're doing covers to no one. And not sharing it.
Yeah.
And
no. And what we mean by that, and what I mean is, and I don't want to get twisted, is just trying to push yourself. You know, it's fine if you want the life of like, just kind of ease street where you don't stress too much about it. But push yourself. Don't worry about if people like your art or not. Do it. Put it out in the world. Who cares? Some idiot says, "Oh, this sucks" on YouTube. Who cares?
Mark is saying he actually saw Nazareth live in Jacksonville, Florida back in the day. Mark, do you know if it was with the original singer or not? And what year roughly? I'd be curious to hear that. John is saying he's excited to see Taylor Swift.
Yeah. I'm sure you and many other people.
Yeah. Stone Sour is coming to New Hampshire. I'd totally go see them.
All right. Yeah. Slipknot's playing too, I heard, with a bunch of bands.
Randall's saying, I want to see Lake Street Dive, but no more tickets. You can't.
Sneak in like I did with Dinosaur Jr.
Mark, the rest of the crew, RGC crew is pretty good. My brother is, we work together, so we work a ton and working way too much, but he's good. Yesay is good. Sage is good. Jordan's good. Everyone's pretty good. Oh, all right. So Mark, you saw in 1980.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. All right. So you saw that might have been the best year to see him. The catalog was massive at that point, and they were still young enough to bring the heat. So, wow, you lucked out on that one. That's pretty awesome. John is saying almost no one, 118 subs. He's laughing his ass off. But he plays his own stuff too. Yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? It's
not Broadway, man. It's rock.
It's a learning process too. It doesn't, so even if no one's watching those videos, you're getting something out of it and you're sharing what you're doing. So that's all right, because maybe the next thing you do, you need those 500 videos to be able to produce what you're going to do next.
Yep.
So that's important. Rebel Gaming Club started years ago, 5-6 years ago. I couldn't talk to a camera. I was absolutely awful. It was embarrassing. Over the years, I learned how to actually talk to a camera, not stutter, keep my thoughts flowing. And that's why we have this show now, is because I'm able to do that.
Yep. That's the thing. Things connect the dots to other things, like the Big Dipper. Lots of questions today. Thank you. Keep doing that. Love it. We love it.
Wow, Mark. So, and you get to meet the singer too. That's killer. That's really awesome. Yeah, John's saying you don't care about subs. Yeah, I mean,
the thing is too, it's like also things sometimes take time to catch on because there's so much going on YouTube and in the world that sometimes you have to do something for a couple, 2-3 years for everyone to be like, oh, wow, okay, cool. It's hard, man. I mean, you got fucking 9-year-olds making videos, putting them on YouTube.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with it,
and with massive success. So it's like, but what is success really? That's what I think about all the time.
Listen, it's all what's in your heart. You know, the things you've done in your life that you found something out of, and it doesn't even have to be anything worth money or anything like that. Success is what you've made, you know. Like I met my wife at a show, you know. I met you guys through the music scene, you know. I mean, it's given me a lot, you know. It's not something that's like worth physical money, but it's been my whole life. So you got to think of stuff like that. Same with your videos, you know. How many times have when we went to a convention, people like Rebel Gaming Club? I mean, you know what I mean? So it's like you got to think. Without a community, you know, we would all be nothing. We have to keep giving to this community, giving to ourselves, because at the end of the day, you know, again, you know, being straight edge, in a sense, to me, it helps me out. Being creative pushes me going forward. Being 34 and being straight edge is keeping, you know, it's a personal choice, but keeping busy with art and music, so I don't go down roads. Try not to, you know.
Yep, Randall's saying if you're happy, that's successful. Exactly. You know, that is the thing. You know, you set goals, you achieve goals, and if you're happy with it, you're good.
Yes, it's fucking completely right, Randall. You are 100% right.
Derek is saying 99% of the smaller channels are better than the big ones anyway. I thought it was cool when Aaron/Riff jumped in your chat a few weeks ago. They're good people. That's Retro Liberty. That was one of those early YouTube channels, the retro video game community that I was a huge fan of. And it was cool that he jumped in because his channel's a lot bigger, and he's done some massive production stuff, so he knows it. But he's also a musician. He's a gamer. He's a guy that's, you know, we have a lot of things in common. So it was cool. He's just a normal dude. I've emailed with him before, and, you know, just a down-to-earth kind of person. That's how it should be, you know. There shouldn't be a barrier with any of these guys. And if there is, something's wrong with you. You need to check yourself, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Mark, yeah, I know. Well, I'm trying. It's tough right now. Everyone's so busy that it's tough to kind of. RGC was this idea of bringing a community together of people that love retro video games and like to collect weird shit and have a good time, like-minded people. And inside that bubble, we could make music, we could make videos, we could laugh. It was about comedy. It was about kind of building a community that was counterculture to the counterculture.
Which we learned back in the punk rock scene. So we're kind of bringing what we learned and trying to do it with this, because we all know, we're not going to name names, that there is just channels that are clickbaiting. We all want to, you know, we're not about that. We're about the passion. I'm not shitting on clickbaiting, but we just know that every day someone's posting something about the damn Nintendo Switch, not because they really care, just because they know.
Yeah, you make some money. John's channel, you can go to the C4SB 2008. If anyone likes covers, he posts a lot of covers.
Rep it.
So if that's your thing, check him out.
Rep it. Love it.
Des saying success is relative, y'all. It's all about breaking down walls.
Des is one of my favorite dudes, and he's completely right, man. I mean, it's about killing ego too and having fun, and trying to be a supporter of yourself and your art, but without being too much. It's all about, like you said, you got to show people that you love what you do, and you got to be confident. But it's also too not being Flex Master J. You got to kind of find that thing, because you know what? There's some great musicians out there that suck. So you got to find your love and let people know that you're doing it for the right reasons, and they'll come.
Mark, well, thanks for missing us. Yeah, no, like I said, it's impossible. The stuff that we're like, so you get me and Nick on Tuesday nights, and you get just me on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock with a random pickup of whatever nonsense I can find thrifting. But that's it. There's just no other option. Everyone's kind of the gang is split up, unfortunately.
And you got to think too, COVID changed a lot in how we're all interacting, and I'm not saying that's the case with the gang, but when there's more time, you can do stuff like that. But this kind of last year and a half, I mean, the skits hard to do, aren't they?
It was near impossible. And the problem with this also, I've thought about this. Rebel Gaming Club is a lot like a band.
Right.
You can catch lightning in a bottle for a short period of time. So if you can make a handful of good records, like, that's amazing, because most people can't do that at all.
Yeah.
So Rebel Gaming Club, same deal. We had like a couple of year span where on fire, where everyone was like on the same page. We all had the same thing in mind to entertain people and have a good time with it. But unfortunately, as time goes on, people, they change, and they move on to different things, and that's fine. But we captured lightning in a bottle for a couple of years, and the spirit of Rebel Gaming Club continues with this show here, and also me by myself, and that's a reminder of what we used to have. But it's all there. The back catalog's there. It's just everyone.
And you never know too, down the road, when jobs and times work out, what can happen. So you never know when AAA is just going to show up. It's happened before.
Yeah, it has happened. But like I said, everyone's so we used to all work together, and now that doesn't happen. So it makes it really near impossible. And Mark's saying you got COVID and survived, so that's a plus. He wants a refund for 2020.
Yeah, me too, dude. Me
2020
too.
was one of the. I'll be honest, it was one of the best years I've ever had in my life. As crazy as that sounds, with all the shit that was going on in the world and happening, me personally, it was.
I've been hearing both sides, and
I loved it. I loved the isolation, the thought, the being able to create and have free time. It was nice.
Yeah, and you're set up that way too. That's your time to create. Like your time, you use that so well. You always have, just the way you tick, which is good. Some people can't fucking sit still. Might be one of them right here.
I mean, I couldn't sit still either. I was bouncing off the walls, but the thing was, my whole house was filled with stuff to keep me busy, so I was occupied, and it was great. Well, guys, it looks like we are a little bit over an hour, so that is going to be it for this week. Thank you so much, everyone that was hanging out, and we're building a community slowly but surely here. It's nice you guys all come together each week and hang out with us, and we get to shoot the shit. So we're going to continue to do that. So we're going to see you guys next week. Until then, have a good night.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Bye.